any other kinds of flooding. Your information is going to be critical to us, but we do want to point out it is just absolutely not a good evening to be out driving in green country. For as bad as it is now, it's going to go downhill, and in Metro Tulsa particularly, because we have that heavy rain moving in with the severe thunderstorm warning. It goes for the next 15 minutes. Gusty winds a threat too, so with the saturated ground, we could be losing some trees here this evening, so keep in mind that we could be losing power with some of this. Still with the severe weather threat too, so make sure you have a way to get alerts as we go through the rest of the evening and through the night if you don't already. And one way you can do that, of course, you may have been actually hearing the alerts go off on my smartphone, Fox 23 weather app. And we are streaming now on the left side of your screen. That is in Tulsa County. The wipers going as the rain is moving in, but the rain rate is actually going to get much heavier. Don't know where that exact location is, but the heaviest rain is still off to the west of the heart of Tulsa. So the rain, that is in Tulsa County. Updated radar view behind me shows you the, what I'll do is I'll put a track on the leading edge of the gusty winds and heaviest of the rain that are coming into Tulsa County, out of Creek County and out of Osage County. Moving east about 30 miles an hour. Again, that brings the worst of it into the heart of Tulsa, about 8:39. Sapulpa a little earlier than that. Looking at a time of 8:48 in Owasso, Jenks 8:50, and Oologah 8:59. So the next 30 minutes, Metro Tulsa, heavier rain moving in. Updated information on one of the tornado warnings we have out right now. Yeah.
Okay, I can take it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and take that information on the new tornado warning.
Okay, new tornado warning now for Okfuskee County. This is a path similar to the one that we just talked about a couple of minutes ago, with a new circulation developing very close to Bearden. In fact, it shows up very well in the high-resolution radar data. I first want to do a track on this because the potential circulation right now looks like it's just to the southeast of Bearden, so we're going to put that just about right here, just south of Highway 48, and as this too moves to the northeast, it's going to be approaching the Okemah area. You see the idea here, all of these are tracking north-northeast. Well, they're all also containing very heavy rain, so we've got a lot of very heavy rain falling over the same areas, so flooding is going to be a huge issue here in Okfuskee County. But the track right now very close to Bearden, Okemah by 8:48. Now, we also have a tornado warning in effect for Latimer County. We'll get an update on that in just a bit, but some of the high-resolution Doppler radar data. I'm going to take an even closer view here as we look just to the southeast of the community of Bearden. This is far southwestern parts of Osage County. We've got strong outbounds here, inbounds here. That's the circulation I'm looking at just southeast of Bearden. Moving to the north-northeast again between exits 217 and 227. So between Clearview Road all the way back over to Highway 48 west of Okemah. That's the zone along Interstate 40 where this circulation will be passing to the northeast. Again in Okemah, probably just emerging from your shelters from passing that last potential tornado, but it looks like here we go again with another tornado warning update now for Okemah because of that circulation just to the southeast of the community of Bearden. Now, I'm also taking a look at what's moving up into parts of Mulkey County right now with that tornado warning remaining in effect all the way up to Highway 16. This may look just a little bit weaker right now. It's still a very persistent thunderstorm, and we've had some circulation in it. As we look just to the north of Okfuskee right now, we've got a little bit of a circulation here. Again, the atmosphere is very supportive of these 15 to 20-minute circulations along the leading edge of these storms. So what we're seeing are these fairly brief storms. They're not particularly violent, but they are capable of producing a tornado. Now, as we look up into Bartlesville, we have still what looks to be a lot more like some very strong wind starting to sweep into western parts of Bartlesville here. Here's the torpedo community. Bartlesville Airport's about right here. You get into these bright yellows, that's some very strong wind flowing into the radar too. And we do have a couple of little weak circulations, one approaching the airport, very weak, not really capable of producing a tornado, but it shows us that the storm structure is capable of producing wind gusts hitting 60 to 70 miles per hour. So brace for very strong wind, Bartlesville and Dewey as this continues to move toward the northeast now. So Bartlesville all the way over to Highway 75, Washington Park Mall. Here's the Adams Golf Course, Dewey community. North of Matoka, some very strong winds will start sweeping in just in the next few minutes into Bartlesville alone. Now, Meteorologist Ben Walnick's got his eye on that Latimer County circulation and joins us now. Our severe weather team coverage continues. We've got an update on the Latimer County tornado warning, Ben.
Yeah, we continue to see rotation with that storm. As I was zoomed into it just a second ago, just east of Buffalo Valley is where we're seeing that rotation, but that has since lifted to the north pretty quickly. And I'm doing new storm track on here, moving north-northeast at around 30 miles per hour. This is now just about 4 to 5 miles northeast of Buffalo Valley, and unfortunately, with the new track on this tornado warning, if the rotation continues, is moving towards the community of Red Oak. So let's fly over to that storm in Latimer County. And again, we had a tornado in Latimer County just a couple of weeks ago, very close to this same area. Started in the southwest part of the county and moved towards Red Oak. This is pretty much due south of Red Oak, moving at about 30 miles per hour to the north-northeast. So from the area of rotation towards Red Oak, that's here about 25 minutes from now, right at 9 o'clock. And that is the only community right now in the path, likely passing west of Highway 82. This is passing well to the northwest of Talihina and in far eastern parts of Latimer County. So through fairly open forest land right now as it tracks through eastern parts of Latimer County. But if the rotation holds together, and it has been holding together pretty well here for the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes from now into Red Oak. So Red Oak need to keep a close eye on this, likely needing to take shelter here within the next 10 to 15 minutes, but have some time to watch this storm to see if it continues to rotate at this time. And this isn't the only tornado warning we're tracking. I do want to check in and take a look, reset things. We do have a tornado watch that is in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. That includes all of Green Country. So 4 o'clock in the morning, all of Green Country, we're going to continue to see these storms rotate. And the greatest threat that we'll end up seeing out of this, unfortunately, is the flash flooding potential. All of the rain we've seen here over the past month so far, a near record May for many parts of Green Country, and we're seeing a lot of rain adding on top of that. Some areas could see 5 inches of rain through the overnight hours and into Sunday. So the tornado potential, the flash flooding potential, our main concerns. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for the Tulsa Metro. Some strong winds moving to the area. In fact, let me do a quick storm track on that as that's tracking into Tulsa right as we speak. Could be seeing a weak area of rotation just south of Sand Springs, but this is mainly going to be damaging winds. And we'll put this moving to the east. It's actually moving fairly slowly into the area, which is part of the reason we have the flash flooding concern. But the storm track on this tracking to the east, we'll put this at about 30 miles per hour moving into Tulsa. So Oakhurst around 8:43, Central High School 8:45, Tulsa at 8:49, Jinx at 8:54, Tulsa International right around 9 o'clock, and the Fox 23 studios in East Tulsa 9:02, Bixby 9:04. Now, if we have tornado warnings in effect, as soon as we get to Fox 23 News at 9, we're going to continue with our weather coverage as the storms track through the area. We've got crews out in the field monitoring the flooding potential and if we get any damage from any of these storms, and we will definitely check in with those crews as the storms pass through the area. But right now we have several areas of rotation that we're tracking very closely, at least 2 tornado warnings right now. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot, who's tracking one of those tornado warnings.
Okay, as we zoom right into Okmulgee County, Okfuskee County, and southeastern Creek County, we still have some persistent rotation. In fact, 2 little areas of it right now. And we'll continue to watch this closely. It looks like one circulation's a little bit weaker. That's passing up very close to New Yorker right now. The other circulation still a little bit stronger. That one is a little bit further to the south. That's going to be just south of Highway 217 or exit 217 on Interstate 40. That's in western parts of Okfuskee County. So we have 3 active tornado warnings for 3 circulations. We've talked about a circulation that was moving a little closer to Bartlesville earlier, but that appears to be much more of a wind threat than any kind of imminent tornado threat right now. But it does show, again, that we have the circulation necessary to generate some very strong winds, and the structure in these storms can support those very strong winds. Moving east, here's the track moving into downtown Tulsa really right now, 8:44, Mounds 8:48. Jinx area 8:57, Owasso 9 o'clock, Bixby, Oologah toward Nowata and toward Coffeyville by about 9:31. Our 2 tornado warnings, these are really embedded deep in the rain. So if you're waiting to get kind of a visual confirmation of anything here, you're probably not going to see anything visually. I'm going to check in and see exactly where the circulation is, at least the circulation that's been in Okfuskee County. This one's been a little bit stronger. It's just to the southwest of Okfuskee County's county seat of Okemah. So moving up toward Okemah by 844, Morse 859, Oriental 901, 908, Okfuskee. This is the second circulation that has taken a track right through central parts of Okfuskee County. The one that's moving, it's much weaker now, west of Okmulgee on Highway 56. That one continues to move toward the northeast too. Now, what we're looking at is a potential tornado, and the reason the warning is issued and that main circulation is located just to the southwest of Okemah right now. And as that moves to the northeast, that's going to be tracking, as we just showed you the box, over Okemah, up toward Oriental, Okfuskee, just to the west of Okemah Lake, or just east again of Okemah Lake, and just east of State Highway 48. So watching this storm very, very closely as it moves to the northeast. The circulation that's been a little bit further to the northeast, prompting the warning up toward Dentonville, New Yucca, and Beggs. That circulation may be just a little bit weaker as it moves up close to New Yucca. I've been looking at velocities, and in fact, we can update those right now. We'll take a look at some of those velocity, some of that data as it moves right into parts of western sections of Okmulgee County. Not seeing any kind of really super strong circulation that's jumping out at me right now, but we continue with the tornado warning. It goes all the way up to include the community of Beggs and up Highway 16, Dentonville, Beggs area, Beggs High School there just to the west of Beggs, and south on Dentonville Road over toward New Yucca as well. Meteorologist Ben Walnick has also been tracking a tornado warned storm in Latimer County, and he's got an update now, Ben.
Yeah, and I did want to check in with this storm. Still a good distance away from Red Oak, but the speed's picked up just a little bit, up to 35 miles per hour. And what I'm seeing on radar right now is some very strong rotation with that storm. So now's the time, as we're only 16, 17 minutes away from the Red Oak area. If you live in Red Oak, you're watching us right now, you need to be taking those tornado precautions. Center room of your home, put as many walls as you can between you and the storm. And you have enough time, if you're in a mobile home and you have a shelter nearby, a more sturdy structure, that you can move to that. We're still a good 16, 17 minutes away from this area of rotation getting to Red Oak, and right now on scene what would signify possibly a tornado occurring right now in Latimer County, and this is still a good distance away from Red Oak at this time. In fact, if I can do our measuring tool, possibly wrapped in rain, about 10 miles southwest of Red Oak, moving at about 35 miles per hour. So in less than 20 minutes, be taking those tornado precautions right now in Red Oak. This is moving right in that direction. Hopefully maybe passing a little bit further to the west, but we can't count on that at this time. And the rotation looks very strong at this time with that storm. And we'll continue to watch that very carefully. And it's not our only tornado warning. And also this part of Latimer County seen a lot of rain and has seen a lot of rain. So flash flooding will be a concern. So if you're thinking of leaving to get to a sturdier shelter and you have a good distance to drive, you may want to reconsider, as the roads likely flooded in this area as well. That's why it's such a dangerous threat tonight, is with the flash flooding and with the tornado risk. You really need to be staying indoors and staying home if you can tonight. We have our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage. We've got the whole team here tonight. We've got crews out in the field, and we'll check in with them when we can. Let's check in right now with certified meteorologist John Boyer, talking a little bit about why we're seeing this flood potential.
Yeah, we are dealing with slow-moving, heavy rain. I'm giving you a bigger picture view of Oklahoma, looping over the past 3 hours to give you an idea of why this is going to be such trouble for us tonight. Now, the northern edge of this line that is approaching Tulsa County from the west.
Flash flood warning just issued for Tulsa.
Flash flood warning just issued for Tulsa. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Slow-moving, heavy rain. Here are the alerts going off on the phone.
Hear the flash flood siren tones going off from the city of Tulsa too. So that's not a tornado warning. I want to stress that.
There are a number of reasons why this is not a good evening to be doing unnecessary travel in Tulsa. And we have our official word, why, and that's the flash flood warning that was just posted. And there you hear the alert going off on the free Fox 23 weather app. And we've got this, again, heavy rain moving into Tulsa from the west. The northern edge of this line actually has a little more speed than the southern edge. Just focus your eyes here on the Turner Turnpike and the H.E. Bailey Turnpike, right in that zone. We're looking over the past 3 hours. Very little movement, if any, of those blobs of very, very heavy rain. Rainfall rates of up to 2 inches an hour in some of these storms. So we've already had a report of some street flooding in Bristow. I know it's not in our area, but I want to address it because it gives you some heads up of what things could be like later on. Off to the southwest in Shawnee, National Weather Service employee reported flash flooding, 2 feet deep, and several stalled cars along the roads there in Shawnee and Pottawatomie County. And that's where, again, we've had very, very slow-moving heavy rain. Oklahoma City metro area has dealt with dozens of water rescues with vehicles this afternoon and early this evening. So again, that's why we are so vigilant about the flash flooding threat here in Tulsa this evening. Also, of course, watching our tornado warnings, and we want to get the latest on what we've learned about that with certified meteorologist Ben Walnick.
And we are still seeing some significant rotation right now in parts of Latimer County, and this is moving very close to the Red Oak community here in the next 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and switch over to Weather 4. We'll take that full for you. The area of rotation has slid a little bit to the due north rather than the northeast. So that is some good news, but I do want to keep Red Oak in the path of this, tracking very close to that area here in the next 15 minutes. So right around 8:58, 8:59, just like the last track that I did on that storm just a few minutes ago. Very strong rotation that I'm seeing on radar at this time. Potentially a tornado on the ground right now. Now it is in a fairly rural part of Latimer County at this time, about 5 to 6 miles west of Highway 82, about 8 to 10 miles east of Highway 2, in what is largely a forest area, but still seeing significant rotation. In fact, the rotation I'm seeing on our behind-the-scenes high-resolution radar is even stronger at this time. It's really the strongest rotation we've seen tonight from any of our storms. So this is just to the southwest of Red Oak by about 8 to 9 miles. You need to be taking your tornado precautions here. That storm moving into that area in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Center part of your home, as many walls as you can between you and the storm. And tonight is a night everyone wants to stay inside. If you have friends and family that maybe live east of the Tulsa Metro, east of Highway 75, they're out camping this evening and tonight, you may want to give them a call now and tell them that they need to be looking for shelter, because this line of storms is not going to stop. Lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain, and a flash flooding threat. This would not be a night that I would want to be out at a campsite with these storms tracking through. I've been through that situation before with flash flooding while camping. It is not a fun situation. So definitely give those family members a call if you're watching us and maybe they're not. Hopefully they're streaming on the Fox 23 weather app. We've got several areas of rotation that we're tracking, plus the flash flooding threat. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot, tracking the storms that we're seeing across green country that are going to last into the night.
Okay, here's the line now. The Tulsa severe thunderstorm warning has expired, so that is some good news. We are continuing to watch very closely the potential tornado that is developed and moved into western parts of Okfuskee County, but no tornado warning in Tulsa. We've heard the flash flood warning siren sound. That is for a flash flood. There is no imminent tornado threat in Tulsa, even though we are under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock. That just means conditions are favorable for some tornado warnings to get issued. Now, we have one severe thunderstorm warning. That is north of Tulsa, with these strong to severe thunderstorms now stretching from Caney, Kansas, now just on the east side of Bartlesville as they move to the east, Copan, Glen Oak, toward Oologah, Talala, Nowata, Elliott, Chelsea, and New Alloway by 8:42. Quick look into the metro area. Again, what we're seeing in Tulsa is not severe. No severe thunderstorm warnings for the city of Tulsa right now, but we've got some really heavy rain, and this is going to definitely add to the flooding conditions across parts of Tulsa County right now, and that is continuing to move toward the east. I'll do a track on this because as it moves toward the east, we're going to be really set for street flooding, if not even more. So a flash flood warning has been issued for these areas in parts of basically Osage County and Tulsa County too. So here's the track on these storms as they move toward the east and moving right across the metro area. So again, latest on the tornado warnings, I'll update those for you in just a bit because we continue to see at least the threat now of tornadoes. Now here's the wrap up of all the warnings. The warning Ben was talking about, Latimer County tornado warning, also Okfuskee and parts of western Okmulgee County, still including the community of Beggs and Dentonville right now. We've got what appears to be the strongest circulation very close to Twin Lakes, just to the west of Okmulgee. Another circulation has gotten pretty close to Okemah right now. We'll take a little closer look at that, but I want to track both of these storms as they move to the north-northeast. So we've got this one moving north-northeast. Next 20 minutes, that's going to be moving into northwestern parts of Okmulgee County. It's very close to Nuyaka and Beggs right now, maybe just to the east of Dentonville area, maybe as far east as Winchester by 9:10. Our second circulation very close to Okemah right now. That one over the next 25 minutes takes a track very similar to the northern spinning storm, Okemah, Oriental, Woodard Corner, and toward the Okfuskee community by about 9:10. There's the tornado warned storm approaching Red Oak and Latimer County too. As we take a high resolution radar view into parts of Okmulgee County, I'm going to switch over and take a look at velocities. And what I'm seeing still looks like it's not quite as strong as it was just maybe to the west of Dripping Springs State Park, moving up close to moving up close to the community of Nuyaka. Right now, it appears our strongest circulation is the one in Latimer County, and that's the one meteorologist Ben Walnick has been tracking for us. Let's jump in on that one, Ben, because this has been a bear of a thunderstorm down there in eastern Latimer County.
Yeah, I do have at least some good news with that. I have good news and bad news with that storm. We'll start with the bad news. Is it's the strongest rotation that we've seen so far tonight, and continuing, it looks like, to intensify, maybe in the last scan weakening just a bit as it is approaching Red Oak. Now, the good news is it looks like it's the area of rotation will pass to the west of Red Oak as it's moving due north. You can see with the latest update there, the area of concern that we're tracking is right in this area right here. So that looks to pass to the west of Red Oak, even though you're in the tornado warning, and you need to be watching this very carefully. It looks like this is going to cross Highway 270 west of Red Oak by a good 4 to 5 miles, very close to Ludi, right on Highway 270. So about halfway between Ludi and Red Oak, right on Highway 270. That's where we're seeing our area of rotation. That is the update there with our tornado warning. This is tracking to the north-northeast at 30 to 35 miles per hour. So if I do a storm track here, great news. We're not seeing any of our no communities in the Fox 23 area popping up in that warning. Still some very strong rotation. Likely saw or are seeing a tornado right now about to cross Highway 270 between Red Oak and near Ludi. All right, we have a new area of circulation attempting to move into southwestern parts of the Tulsa metro. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot tracking the storms as they track into our area.
Okay, again, we're watching the actual tornado warning, Latimer County again, and also into parts of Okmulgee County, and the wide view showing our main concern here, and you can certainly tell by the coloring, we have many more flash flood warnings than we have tornado or severe thunderstorm warnings. Wind damage, the main threat, moving into Nowata County, northern Rogers County, eastern Washington County, generally along and north of State Highway 20. As we look back into the city of Tulsa, though, we continue to see at least some very weak circulation trying to start forming, and this is going to be just over southwestern parts of the metro area. But again, it's very weak right now. We take a look at what's really our main concern, these two tornado warnings. One moving up close to Beggs, very close to Nuyaka right now. That circulation is not super strong, but we also have another circulation a little bit further south. This one looks like it may have weakened just a bit, just very close to Okemah. That's moving up toward the Oriental and Okfuskee community, and close to maybe just to the east of Okemah Lake there in central parts of Okfuskee County. And we also, of course, have that tornado warning in effect in parts of Latimer County, too. Now, what I'm looking at here is high-resolution Doppler radar data. As I look right at about 61st Street and Elwood, I'm going to zoom all the way in here. And again, this is high-resolution Doppler data, so we're really zoomed way in. This is I-44, Okmulgee Beeline, Arkansas River here on the right side of your screen. This is the Turner Turnpike, exit 222. What we're seeing is this very broad circulation trying to form right now. This is Robertson Elementary, Remington Elementary as you move south of 51st. This is 61st Street. So we're looking at about a 1 mile, 2 mile area here, where just to the northwest of Page Belcher Golf Course. Now, as this moves to the northeast, it's going to be moving across the Arkansas River, most likely Well, in the general direction of Brookside, it's very weak right now, but this is giving us a pretty good indication that this storm's got the internal structure now to create some stronger wind. So it doesn't look like there's an imminent tornado threat with it, but it's something we're watching very closely. This is Webster High School, of course, the big rail yard at I-244 just to the north of the 244 and 75 split going south out of downtown. And the main circulation looks like it's at about between 51st and 61st Street, southwestern parts of the city of Tulsa, moving toward the northeast. Now, I'm going to do a track on that, and as we track that to the northeast, in parts of the metro area, there's no imminent tornado from this at all. This just means that this storm is gaining enough structure that it could produce some severe wind gusts for us. As it moves to the northeast, this will be the most likely area that we see some gusty winds, maybe 50 miles per hour, maybe a little stronger. Webster High School area right now, Carbondale, Brookside by 9:02, Utica Square, St. John Medical Center at 9:05, Hillcrest as well, downtown Tulsa 9:06, toward TU by about 9 minutes after 9, Hale High School area on East 21st Street, 12 after 9, and as keeps moving up into North Tulsa, TCC Northeast, gets up close to the Gilcrease Expressway and the Highway 11 loop there. So again, some wind possible here, but the main concern still tornado warnings south of Tulsa. Let's check in on the Latimer County tornado warning and get an updated track. Meteorologist Ben Walnick is standing by. We've got our whole severe weather team here, and from Ben, we'll go to John, and then we'll go back to me as I continue to look at this circulation, trying to form. Little structures are getting a little bit better in southwestern parts of the city of Tulsa, but again, it's a long way from being a tornado threat. I want to stress that. We're just watching it for you.
And the rotation we're seeing in Latimer County is definitely the strongest rotation we're seeing right now in the Fox 23 viewing area. Nothing like what we're seeing in the Tulsa Metro. This is much stronger. About halfway between Red Oak and Ludi, right along Highway 270, if not just north of Highway 270 at this time. So we'll check on things in Latimer County. This will be moving a little bit further to the north, right along Oklahoma 82 here, north of Red Oak on its current track. Areas like Kinta need to be watching this if it continues due north. Storm track on this area of rotation just north of Red Oak. We'll take this out about 20 minutes even outside the tornado warning to the north. And once again, not seeing any areas popping up here. That is definitely some great news as this tracks through northern parts of Latimer County. The area of rotation likely to pass just west of Lodi, so that's definitely some good news. And latest update there, it looks like our tornado warning being trimmed there near Okfuskee County, and that's actually a new tornado warning in Latimer County that was just issued. So new tornado warning for Latimer and Haskell County on the storm I've just been talking about, now moving due north rather than northeast at 35 miles per hour. And very near Red Oak, just west of Red Oak, like I was just talking about with that area of rotation. So again, storm track on that, moving to the north. We'll try to get Kinta in there, and right around, it looks like about 9:15 to 9:20 in Kinta there in southern parts of Haskell County. So still seeing some strong rotation with that storm at this time. That's the storm of greatest concern for the tornado threat at this time. But we are still very concerned about the flash flooding threat that we're seeing across the area. Let's check in with certified meteorologist John Boyer, who is tracking a line of strong storms tracking through the area, bringing not only the heavy rain, but damaging winds too.
Yeah, first I want to take you up to the north and give you a look at this storm, the reason for the severe thunderstorm warning in Bartlesville. This line stretches from Montgomery County, Kansas, right through Washington County, now pushing into Nowata County and down Highway 75 into the north part of the metro Tulsa area. But we're going to focus on this storm track first for the leading edge of the gusty winds here. Talala 9 o'clock, Nowata 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Towards Independence at 9:13. Many flood-prone spots in Montgomery County, Kansas, and along this line. So we'll have to watch out for flash flooding too, along with the gusty winds. Claremore 9:22, Owasso 10:11. Actually, that may be a little bit off there. There was a little mistake I made there on the southern part of that line. It will not take that long to be in Owasso. Obviously, it is already there. But through Metro Tulsa, again, we have our heavy rain and a flash flood warning that goes for the next several hours. Flash flood warnings in Okmulgee, Okfuskee, and Creek County too, because the rain rates there been 1.5 inches to maybe 2 inches an hour, and already caused flash flooding in Bristow and in Shawnee. And I want to take a look and see if we have any new flood reports that have come out of central Oklahoma, because that's kind of a canary in the coal mine for us here in Green Country, seeing what's been happening in central Oklahoma so far today and into this evening. It looks like we don't have any new word on any flood-related issues, but there certainly could be some out there, and of course it is after dark now. So not a good evening to be doing unnecessary travel, not only with the flooding threat, but the severe weather threat out there as well. And we are looking at Tulsa maybe getting close to a rain record for today. It would only take somewhere between around 1.5 inches, I believe, to set today's rainfall record. I have to look at those numbers, but I looked at it earlier. So this is certainly a situation where we could have more than 1.5 inches of rain by midnight here in Tulsa because of the way that this is coming down so heavily. In fact, in Bristow, just in the past hour's time, 1.6 inches of rain there. And for a total today, we can take a look here. Just already, some parts of western Oklahoma topping 6 inches. And you've been hearing us talk for the past few days about how we're worried about getting some rain totals in excess of 6 inches or 7 or 8 inches in some parts of Green Country as this all evolves, in addition to the severe weather threat on the leading edge of this heavy rain. Just now approaching 9 o'clock here in a few seconds. Instead of Fox 23 News at 9, we're going to continue talking about this severe weather and flooding threat, and we have some new information from Ben Walnick.
Yeah, good news. A few of our tornado warnings have now expired in Okmulgee County and in Okfuskee County. So our area of main concern is for tornado concern